Hi and welcome to Paints and Glitter. My name is Raquel and I welcome you to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to make some cards using some Spellbinders Dies, embossing folder, and the Perfect Petunia flower from Tonic Studios, as well as this stamp from Fiskars. Just the thank you phrase is the only one that I've used, as well as VersaFine Onyx black ink. The first thing that I've done is cut a paper 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and this is a light blue, almost like a robin's egg blue. And I've also cut the base of what will be my card at 6 1/4 square, and I have two pieces that were essentially left over from other papers that I cut down. One of them I did emboss. And then I have the base of my card. What I did here is that I'm going to make the inside of my card first. So as you can tell, I did use that beautiful embossing folder to give texture to this darker blue paper. I absolutely love the results here, and this is going to just have basically a decoration here for the base of this card, and it kind of grounds it, if you will. So here is where the sentiment will go. I later actually add a ribbon to the inside of this, but it won't be included in this video. But as you can see here, I gave myself a 1/2 inch tab, and all I did was, of course, cut it a 1/2 inch taller on one side there, and then I was able to score that and fold it down, and that will be the mechanism that will allow me to fold open my card. Now, for the front of this card, I took another piece of paper, and as you can see here, what I've done is I'm scoring this, and I'm staying a 1/16 of an inch away from each corner there. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my bone folder, and there's the little texture. It gives it a nice finished edge to any project, really. It just makes it look a little more professional. So this is the panel that I'm adhering to the front, and it's just slightly smaller than the base. And here I have my piece from the Milan medallion, and I'm adding this first. I've cut this in a nice bright blue cardstock. I wanted to use these colors purposely, and you'll see later why, because they will match the flowers that I'm going to be using today. And these are going to be some really quick and simple cards. I'm essentially just pairing these up, and they look very similar, in fact, to the samples on the on the packaging of the die cuts. So but these dies, they make a big impact, and that's what I like about them. That's what stood out to me about these. So this piece here also comes with the Milan medallion, and what I did was that I heat embossed the phrase, the thanks, and I did use black embossing powder, but for the sake of the video, all you see here is the final product, of course. But that's a nice shiny thanks there, so it really pops against the blue, and that's just going to nestle right here in the center. And then I have these other pieces that are the white pieces of paper here. This is the smallest die cut in that set. And I just thought it would look really cute nestled there, and it just gives it a nice bright pop of color against that dark blue, and it kind of breaks it up a little bit. So I just thought that it fit nicely there, and that's exactly where I put these, kind of lined up vertically. And then I'm moving on to the flower, and that is a Foamiron flower that I made in a separate video. If you would like to watch the live tutorial, you can. It'll be listed down below. So this is why I went with blues, and if you can see, there is a clear bead in the center of that flower, and I'm just using my hot glue. The back of that, in fact, is actually paper, so all I did was cut another set of petals out of cardstock, and I colored them green, just to let you know. There is a nice bit of shine in the center of that flower, and I really love the way that it turned out. To finish my card, I just decided to go ahead and take out my gems here. I have so many of these, and they come in these nice big packages now, so I'm just grouping them here and deciding where it is that I want to have each one of these. And what I did was that I kept them all in this clear, almost like a creamy white color, because I wanted to have a monochromatic card. And then I did add little pops of this turquoise also because I'm keeping it in the blues, blue and white. So that's why I went ahead and selected those. And I just started grouping these around. I thought it was nice and fun to almost have like the mandala effect to this card. And I hadn't even thought of that initially. So if I make another card with this, I think I'm going to really jazz it up with a bunch of gems just to see what that would look like. I think it's a fun die set. Now, just to let you know, I thought that this sentiment was kind of floating, so I did ground it with some gray ink with an alcohol marker from Nuvo. And there you see the final result. I did add a little bit more shine, and I also went ahead and framed it with gray ink. So I was really happy with that card. Now, moving on to the next one. This one I've made with the All de Lavande label, and I'm sorry I couldn't pronounce that. I'm not French, so I have difficulty with French. So here I'm just making a 5x7 card. I'm doing the same technique as I did before, which was to score the panel that I'm going to be placing on top of my card, only this time I've done it twice. So I'm going to have a double embossed edge there, and you'll see the results. I love the way that that looks. And it's just a quick and easy way to just add a nice touch of texture to any card. And here is the base of this because it's going to also be the same color scheme. So I've chosen the darker panel to go right on top of my card. So that's just a 1/16 of an inch smaller than, or I'm sorry, an 1/8 of an inch smaller than the 5x7 size. And then I decrease in size for the next panel as well. But here you see I just always have a paper towel in hand to take away any excess adhesive. I highly recommend that when making cards. And now I'm just going to make sure that there's enough glue there, of course, so that that beveled edge doesn't pop up, because if you don't place enough adhesive, that's exactly what will happen. So here's just that base of this card, and here is that gorgeous cutout from this die set. Now, all of the products that I'm using in this video will be linked down below. However, some of them, I don't know if it's this one or the other die set. One of them is discontinued, so I do apologize that they're not both available. But this one here, if you saw, I did adhere this onto black foam. And so I was able to make this dimensional, but I did run that black foam through my die cutting machine with the same die, and it gave it the best texture. I just fell in love with the results of that. So I did ink that one piece, and I also added not glossy accents, glimmer pen, just to let you know. I do like to highlight any details like that. And now I'm adding this smaller panel. And then the phrase thanks that I did cut out as well. And like I said, I'll be listing that in the description box, but that is from phrase set 1 from Spellbinders. And I used my tweezers there because it helps a lot to keep my hand steady when applying small die cuts. And then I just applied a white organza bow that I made here. And nothing fancy, I just used my hands to make that, but I did cut it down to make sure. Initially I thought I was going to make a huge bow there, but then I changed my mind. And here is another one of these foamy round flowers. This one I did not make in the video, but it is the same as the others. The only difference is that I did add lavender color to the petals just using an alcohol marker. So as I like to do, I did add some little gems to this card and pearls. I love just that final product, which is to make it shine a little bit. Just adding those little delicate details, I think makes it a lot of fun. And so here you see the final card. I did add Nuvo drops as well. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Of course, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I appreciate your time and thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed.